Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding updates. The first thing we got is actually the prejudging of the New York Pro of the Classic Physique, and as expected, the front runner at this showing Classic Physique is Niall Darwin, and he is looking absolutely amazing, crazy, with his signature tiny small waist, small joints everywhere, insane classic physique. Now, did he improve from last year? That's the main thing I'm focusing right here on. I know he's going to win this show pretty easily, probably this one and Pittsburgh Pro 2. But what I'm looking at here is, did he progress enough to potentially challenge for the Mr. Olympia title? Honestly, guys, I'm not so sure. I don't see any major changes. I think he's kind of a little bit flat here. The lighting looks pretty bad, so maybe that's just it. But here you can see him in the lineup next to the other guys. For example, we got the Brazilian right here, Diego Galindo, and also Justin Badurina. These two guys are challenging Niall Darwin, but I don't think any of them are beating him. I think he's going to win this show, not easily. The other guys, you can say, maybe are more conditioned or maybe have better posing, stuff like that. But, you know, Niall Darwin is a top 5 Olympian. I think Diego was 6th at a Mr. Olympia, so he's close. And it seems like he's more conditioned, so they might give it to him because of the conditioning factor. But if you talk about the overall completeness, the overall package, the classic lines, the height and everything, I think it's Niall's show to lose. Here is Diego. So again, great conditioning, great posing, but you know, the width of the waist and the shape of the physique, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's very good, but do I think this can contest somebody like Niall Darwin? I mean, sure, like, they're close. Niall was 5th, Diego was 6th, so yeah, like, on paper, they are very close, but I think there still is a pretty big gap between them if you talk about the classic physiques. But if you judge this show as a bodybuilding show, if you look at the conditioning and the hardness and stuff like that, then you might say that Diego could be winning this one. So it's not that clear, not as clear as I thought it was going to be, but I still think Niall wins this, and I think he still has way more potential to become the future Mr. Olympia or to challenge some of the top guys. Do I think he's actually that good right now to challenge for the title? No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I don't know what his weight cap is, but he kind of looks like he could add a little bit more muscle, right? I think he needs to be a little bit thicker. I think he needs some more density to this frame, right? I think Ramon Dino is way more filled out, just fuller and bigger. And I think he also has better conditions. So I think Niall here is still where he was last year. You know, top 5 in the world, but not really contesting for being the best in the world. We'll see how this show will play out. If you guys disagree with me, if you think Diego is maybe winning this show, you can tell me down below in the comments. But I also found a couple of comparison photos right here, so we can take a look at them. The angle is not the best, but we can get a pretty good idea. So right here in the side chest, who wins this one? I would say Niall Darwin wins this one simply because of his structure. I would say mainly the upper body, the way it's flowing with the lower body. Diego does have harder glutes and just harder legs, but is that enough in classic physique? No, I don't think it is. Now, from the back, you could say that Diego is winning, again, because of his glutes, how sharp they are, how hard they are, hamstrings as well, and the back itself is just very thick. But you know, he's a short guy. He looks more like a 212 bodybuilder here next to Niall, and Niall has a crazy classic physique, and I'm sure that's going to be appreciated in this show, in this lineup. In the abs and thighs, I would say this one goes easily to Niall Darwin because he has better legs, better leg sweep, smaller waist, great abs. So overall, I think he dominates this one without a question. and the front double. I would say this one goes also to Niall pretty easily. Again, because of the small waist, because of the shape. When Diego pulls a vacuum, his waist also appears to be pretty small, but next to Niall, I think everybody's waist is going to look kind of thick. So, you know, he has a tiny waist, better quad sweep, better quad details. Overall, I think he's more complete. I think he's just a bigger man, has bigger structure, better classic lines, and he brought it good enough that I'm pretty sure he's winning this show, but it could go Diego's way. I'm not 100% sure about this one, but if I had to say one name, I would say Niall Darwin. What do you guys think? Tell me down below in the comment section. All right, now the next thing we got is a pretty freaking insane, guys, insane physique update by Michal KRIZO. And I was so amazed when I saw this one. Guys, I did say that Antonio Burton is going to win the New York Pro, but I take that back right about now. Why did I even say it? I said it because Ian Wallier said it on Fuad's podcast, and Ian is almost always right. Like, he's really good with his predictions, and he still might be right, but honestly, I want to see KRIZO win this one because, you know, he's from Europe. That's one thing. Also, I like his personality a lot. And also, he has that quality of the muscle that I love to see on a bodybuilder these days, especially when everybody is basically synthol freaks, especially Tony, let's be honest. And then not synthol freaks, but like they're pushing a lot of oil, I don't know, steroids, whatever they're doing, they're pushing it all into their muscle, all the body parts. And, you know, it works well. I personally started doing that as well. I'm shooting my gear to my biceps lately, and it helps. It makes the muscle more swollen, but you do lose the detail. I did it with my shoulders as well, and, you know, my shoulders are now more rounder, but I lost the details. So these bodybuilders are using way bigger amounts of drugs, so when they have to inject like grams and grams and grams of oil, they put it everywhere, and that's how they lose the striations. KRIZO didn't do that. I don't know if he's doing low doses or he's putting it all in the body parts that are hidden, but he managed to keep his physique intact and quality. He kept the quality, man. He has that crazy quality. So he went to the New York and he went to the powerhouse gym, Bev Francis powerhouse gym, and he posed with Steve Weinberger. It seems like Steve Weinberger is a fan of KRIZO. Why? Probably the same reasons as why I am. Not because he's from Europe, but because he has the quality of the muscle, he has great personality. You know, he's an honest guy, he's a funny guy, he doesn't care about anything, like, he doesn't take himself too seriously, and also, he is a size freak, guys. That's probably the biggest reason why Steve likes him. Because he likes the freak show. He was a big fan of Dorian back in the day, and now he's a fan of Michal KRIZO. And again, that's one of the reasons why I am a fan of KRIZO. I want to see a big man win this show, and I think he probably will at this point, because if you guys check out this posing here that he did, you're going to be blown away if you haven't seen it already. So let's take a look at this. So here he's hitting some quarter turns and a couple of other poses, and he's hitting them pretty much perfectly. But it's one thing to hit the poses for a millisecond. It's a whole nother thing to keep them, to hold the poses for seconds and seconds on stage and not fade and not lose your ground. You need to do the poses and just hold them for however long it's necessary. And I don't know if KRIZO will be able to do that, but I think he learned how to present his physique in the best possible way. He practiced some posing with Mike Sommerfeld recently, and now he's doing it with Steve Weinberger. I'm hoping he had some posing coaches in the off-season or in this prep, but it looks like he is doing a better job. For example, in this quarter turn, he looks great. He looks peeled, guys, peeled. And that's his signature. Not just the conditioning in terms of low body fat percent and not holding any water on stage, but also by showing an insane amount of details in every single body part. He was heavily criticized for having small glutes. He fixed that. I think he improved his back as well. It also looks bigger and better. Here you can see him in the side chest pose. It looks phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure he changed the way he's hitting it because he's opening up nicely now. He's holding there. He's staying firm. He keeps the midsection tight, the legs look great from the side. Pretty sure he improved his posing overall. He also did say that he improved his posing. He said, I was criticized for my glutes, for my back, and now I'm criticized for my posing, and I improved it. And I think we can see that. We'll see that tomorrow on stage, but at least in this little video, he does look better. The poses he's hitting do look better. And really, guys, I'm looking at this and I'm just amazed with his size, conditioning, and the freaking details. It's insane how many details, how many muscle fibers you can see on this freaking physique. And also the fact that he's like 6 foot tall and weighs 300 pounds. It's gonna be extremely difficult for Tony Burton, who is like 230, 235 maybe, to beat this 300-pound monster. Keon Pearson didn't know how, he couldn't manage to do that. Keon lost to KRIZO. And I think this is a much better version of KRIZO. So I have KRIZO winning the New York Pro. That's the way I see it, guys. I could still be wrong. I mean, Tony did make a lot of progress for sure. He does look impressive. He does look crazy, very complete. But I don't know, beating a monster like KRIZO, it's gonna be very difficult. Now, KRIZO also made a statement, a small statement about what's gonna happen tomorrow, what's necessary to happen for him to win the show. Here's what he said.
KRIZO will win the New York Pro if.
Vyhráš New York Pro ak.
Easy. Easy peasy. Vyhrám New York Pro, ak nastúpim.
He's gonna win as long as he steps on the stage.
No problem.
All right. I mean, he sounds confident. He says it's going to be an easy peasy, and he wins his show very easily. That might actually be the case. We'll see tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be a battle for sure. Tonio is very, very good. I mean, he's amazing. He's great. He made a lot of progress, but again, KRIZO has the size, the conditioning, the details, the quality. And here is what he looks like from the back. Now, at this point, nobody can say anymore that his glutes are small. He grew his glutes a lot. So that tells us one thing. You just get his sides to make progress, to grow a body part. He can most certainly do it. So he decided to grow the glutes. He grew the glutes. And I think his back also is pretty big. I don't love the way it's shaped. If you're talking about like winning the Mr. Olympia, but to win this show, I think he has enough, guys. That's the way I see it. If you see it otherwise, tell me down below in the comments. If you need help with your body, trying to get shredded for the summer, guys, if you start doing it right now, you have May, June, July, and you can be shredded for August and also for July and for September as well. So you just need to focus a little bit, you know, you need to just have a structured diet, some training to follow, some cardio, and if you comply 80% even, you're going to have great results. So if you want to be shredded and jacked for the summer, DM me at evenbodybuilding_ on Instagram. We can talk about coaching. I'm not too expensive, but I'm very, very focused on my athletes, so I'll definitely help you get jacked if you want that. Again, evenbodybuilding_ on Instagram. All right, so right here, we also got another New York Pro contender, and that's Blessing Awodibu, who, once again, seems like he's in the best shape of his life. He did seem like he was in the best shape of his life 1 week before the Brazil Arnold Classic Brazil, or a couple of days before, and then he was completely spilled over. So I'm betting that the same thing is going to happen for the New York Pro, or if we're lucky enough, if he is smart enough, he'll learn on his mistakes and he won't make the same error again. He won't overcarb and spill over or whatever he did. Now, one thing he changed here, obviously, is the way he's posing with the legs. And now he's keeping them way more straight. He's not bending in the knees, which I don't see how is a good idea. Like, he's gonna have more details, sure. When you lock your legs like this, you're gonna have more details, but he doesn't need details. He needs size. He needs his legs to match his upper body, his massive upper body. So by doing this, he's definitely losing some size in the legs, but he's getting details. If that's what he wants, then fine. But I don't think it's a good call. In the side chest, he looks great. His side poses look very good. If he is in shape, and he is in shape right here, the question is, will he be able to maintain this shape? Or he's going to try something crazy again and show up much bigger and fuller, but without any details, watery. In the most muscular, again, you can see how conditioned he is, and he is truly peeled. He's shredded. He looks very, very lean, but I don't know if he's actually going to be able to maintain this and to showcase it on stage. If he does, he might be lucky enough to beat Patrick Moore and the other guys and crack that top 5, but to place higher than that, I don't see that happening. And I'm pretty sure at this point of Blessing's career, he knows his best days are in the past and he still wants to enjoy competing, so he wants to do as many shows as possible. I don't think he has any expectations of winning any of the shows or placing whatever, the Mr. Olympia or qualifying for the Mr. Olympia. I think he just wants to compete, to enjoy, present his best possible package, and that's what he's doing. So I hope that he's actually going to bring good conditioning just like this. If he doesn't change anything from this point, this is going to be very good, but again, only good enough to fight for the top 5 spot. All right, and finally, we actually got a physique update. Finally, guys, finally. Not exactly the greatest physique update, but at least this is some sort of a physique update from our reigning classic physique Mr. Olympia. Yeah, he did his guest posing recently, sure, but you know, the quality of that video is really poor and he's not showing us his legs. Here, the quality of these photos is very, very good, so you can see exactly how lean he is, how hard he is, how full and big he is in the upper body, but unfortunately, he didn't show us his legs. So a moment ago, I was comparing Niall Darwin to Ramon Dino and talking about whether Niall can surpass Ramon Dino and beat him at Mr. Olympia. And here you can see why I don't see that, because Ramon just has this density, man. This thickness of the physique. Like, look at the size of his arms and shoulders and chest. He looks like a freaking open bodybuilder. But that's another thing, right? I mean, he doesn't have the crazy classic shape the way Niall does. But again, it's not all about the shape. That's one part of the criteria. The rest is muscularity, conditioning, which is very important in classic physique, obviously, if you make the weight cap. Now, Ramon doesn't have exactly the most classic physique, in my opinion. You know, it's pretty classic, it's okay, but you wouldn't say that Ramon Dino is extremely, extremely classic, the way you would say about C-Bomb or Niall Darwin or some other guys. Ramon Dino just has decent aesthetics. You know, he's aesthetic. He doesn't have a wide waist. He doesn't have any problems with the physique. He's good, but not extraordinarily classic. And that's something I want to see from the Mr. Olympia in classic physique. Now, if nobody else with better classic lines brings the same amount of muscularity and conditioning, they won't beat him. He will dominate. And I do think he still has enough to dominate over guys like Niall Darwin. I don't see Niall Darwin surpassing Ramon Dino with his current look this year, because Ramon just has this density. And right now, in his off-season, he's actually in crazy condition. I don't know why is he this lean. I mean, I'm assuming why, because he can't grow anymore. And if he's on cycle, he can just try and, you know, get some more details, maybe get more hardness by training more maturity. But to grow, he's not allowed to. He's at the weight cap. So here he looks great. He looks lean and full and hard. And as the show approaches, he's going to get even better. So I think it's pretty safe to say that he's going to be still in the top spots. I'm not saying win the Mr. Olympia, because one small mistake, messing up the peak week, can prevent you from doing that. And also there is Mike Sommerfeld, who is coming really strong. Terence Ruffin as well. And then you got guys like Niall Darwin, Diego Galindo, and also, for example, Tomislav Stromecki, some of the other guys who are like top 10, top 8, top 6, who are also very close to becoming one of the best in the world. So we'll see what they're going to bring. For example, Tomislav has an entire year to grow muscle, to grow new tissue for the Mr. Olympia. So I think he's going to be very, very dangerous. I don't see Niall challenging Ramon and Mike and Terence, but I can probably see Tomislav doing that. So we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. Ramon looks great right now. And as far as the New York Pro, guys, who do you have winning? Do you think Niall Darwin can pull it off, or is it going to be Diego? And also, tell me, what do you think about Michal KRIZO and his current look right now, 1 day out of the New York Pro? Guys, he looks insane, but I'm curious to hear, what do you think? Can he win tomorrow? Can he win the New York Pro? Can he beat Tony Burton and Rafael Brandao as well? Your thoughts, guys, down below in the comments. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.